I feel like we've all got used to the fact that since the 1970s, we've been living, the ground that we've been walking on is a card house that is in collapse. And it's just collapsing so slowly that in 50 years, we've got used to the momentum. But COVID pulled out 2 cards in the bottom row. And the Ukraine war and what's going on economically around the planet has pulled out another 5. And the whole bottom row is in suspension now. It's actually not in ground contact anymore. So the acceleration of what we're now likely to go through is sooner or later going to hit. And I'm literally looking in my daughter's eyes and at my neighbors, and I'm asking myself, are we actually doing the right thing still? Are we still, like, we all have our whatever, mortgages to pay, children to keep in school, prepare a little bit better for retirement because we worked for meaning rather than money or whatever, and feel like we need to create that nest egg. Excuse me, it's like that still does not compute with fundamental transformative change that is most likely going to happen within the next 10 years, 5 years, 3 years. And then how do you go out there making announcements about the end of the world is nay? Like, what does that serve? It doesn't serve either. Yeah? How do we sit with that appropriately? And for me, it's a weird mix. Without wanting to advertise any kind of party on the Titanic hedonism, but at the very least, don't we have a responsibility to appreciate the beauty that we can still live on a daily basis with each other and in the places we're in relative peace? Like I get really hard on myself when, like, the last 3 weeks, I feel sorry for my situation and blah, blah, blah. Because ultimately, these are the fat years. These are the years where like, we should really appreciate what we've got right in front of us and make others appreciate it more. And it does remind me of that Joanna Macy translated Rainer Maria Rilke poem, Dear Darkening Ground, where in the last lines he asks, give me just a little more time. Give me just a little more time, so I may love the things until they're real and ripe and worthy of you. And for me, more and more, how do we, whether it's on the personal level as business leaders or in trying to drive positive change in the world, ultimately, if we don't fall in love with life and the appreciation of life in a completely new and deeper way, as we have done in the last 100 years of our journey as a species, I believe that the only way we can come to that is if we get off this juggernaut and focus down towards the specificity of community and place. We stop solving global abstract problems like climate change, inequality, so many terrible problems that are riddling the planet. But the minute you say hello to place, you say hello to this location, these people, this bioregion, all those things show up, but they don't show up as abstract problems. They show up as real people suffering, as real ecosystems dying. And in that realness, in that specificity of actual encounter, of relationship with place, is where, when they all come together as a problem cluster, the designers love the wicked problem cluster that Horst Rittel talked about, but it just suddenly goes pop and it becomes a wicked potential opportunity. It suddenly becomes the opportunity to say, okay, we might, and this is coming to what you were asking around about, like, how do we hold space for in a dying culture? How do we live in this place doing our very best to heal this place in this community. And in the knowledge that if we do this in this place and we do whatever we can to enable other people to do the same in their place, then we're actually getting to scale with regard to planetary health and planetary healing.